As the sun sets, all right.
All righty.
Amen.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Appreciate it, Mark.
Mark, I'm not you. As the sun sets on Memphis' first season of soccer in the USL, Memphis 901 FC plays host to playoff-bound Louisville City FC next. For the final time in 2019, we welcome you to AutoZone Park as Memphis 901 FC closes out their inaugural season taking on playoff-bound Louisville City FC. Alongside JJ Greer, I'm Tyler Springs. It's a pleasure to be with you this evening. JJ, no easy task for this Memphis side this evening. They're coming off a 2-goal loss against Charleston, and this Louisville side had an epic comeback in their last match.
Epic comeback is right, Tyler. Coming back from 3-0 down in the first half to score 8 unanswered goals to win 8-3 against Swope Park Rangers. No easy task, and 901 FC, as you said, is no easy task tonight, but are looking forward to closing out AutoZone Park with the win in 2019.
One of the players to watch for Louisville FC will certainly be Magnus Rasmussen. Had a brace in that comeback against Swope Park.
After scoring only 1 goal last season, Magnus Rasmussen has had a breakout year, scoring 13 goals and adding 3 assists for Louisville City this season. He's got an incredibly powerful left-footed strike and was able to slot that one home against Swope Park, and he's also a very capable passer. He was instrumental in Louisville City's legendary comeback, scoring 2 goals in that match, and the 901 FC midfield will need to mark him closely tonight.
As for the Memphis defense, in order to stop Rasmussen and their other attackers, it'll be Mark Birch anchoring the backs.
For the entirety of the season, there's been no question who the leader of this 901 FC team has been on the field and in the locker room. Mark Birch leads the team in interceptions with 45 and is second on the team in clearances with 113, trailing only his center back mate, Liam Doyle. He's also incredibly talented on set pieces, as you saw that goal there against Red Bulls 2. And although 901 FC's season will be ending tonight, Mark Birch will have his side fighting for 3 points.
Memphis trying to play a big speed bump for Louisville City FC this evening. It's all coming your way tonight from AutoZone Park. from Kickoff here at AutoZone Park in downtown Memphis as 901 FC will light it up against Louisville City. Alongside J.J. Greer, I'm Tyler Springs. The lineups for this night's contest. We start with the visiting playoff-bound Louisville City FC, J.J. A lot of good players in that 11.
Yeah, especially that front three up top with Niall McKay, Brian Omby, and Antoine Hoppino, along with Magnus Rasmussen. A lot of fireworks up top, a lot of firepower for that Louisville City attack.
A record set in Louisville's last game, 8 goals scored by 7 different players. And for the 901, we'll see a little bit of Scott Levine in goal tonight for Memphis.
Yeah, Scott Levine getting yet another chance after also starting against Charleston this past week. Looking forward to also see Adam Najim back in the starting 11. I think he'll have a good game tonight.
For Louisville City FC, the coach, John Hackworth, known to Memphians because he's the father of Memphis 901 FC defender Morgan Hackworth, and has seen his share of soccer at the national team level, has been head of the U17 national program prior to taking over this job in 2018. As for Memphis, they're led by the inimitable Tim Mulqueen, first-year head coach, has shepherded this side to a 9-17-7 record this year, 5-8-3 at home, and looking to close things out on a high note this evening as the Memphians take on Lou City. Playoff-bound Lou City and trying for a 3rd consecutive USL title. Mulqueen's got his hands full, and his team hopefully has all their eyes on stopping this Louisville City team before they roll into the postseason. J.J. Greer, have you ever been on a team that's played spoiler near the end of the season, just trying to be an impediment to another team?
Well, you know, so I spent 4 years in the USL, 4 fun years, and there was only 1 year, my rookie year in 2014, where we didn't make the playoffs, but we actually had the chance to make the playoffs on the very last day, the very last game, and unfortunately the Harrisburg City Islanders knocked us out. But, you know, the remaining 3 years I was fortunate enough to be able to play in the playoffs, so...
and you'd want to go in on a high note if you were a team advancing to the playoffs.
Oh, absolutely. There's a ton of implications here for Louisville City. You know, not only do they want to go into the playoffs on a high note, but they're also fighting for seeding in the USL Championship. They still have a chance to be able to host a home playoff game. So really a big match tonight for Louisville City.
Lou City can get as high as 4th potentially in the Eastern Conference playoffs if they finish with 3 points this evening. We are underway from AutoZone Park at the corner of 3rd Street and Union Avenue in downtown Memphis. These sides met once previously this season, with Louisville City coming away with a 2-1 victory. Lou City in their road grays with black shorts. Memphis in their home navy blue kits. And Dan Metzger will have a free kick for Memphis after a foul on Lou City. This Memphis side coming off a 2-0 defeat against Charleston on the road earlier this week in a rescheduled match against the Charleston Battery, who will also see themselves into the playoffs in 2019. Levine able to close quickly and deny the chance to Brian Omby. We talked about it a little bit in the pregame, JJ, but this Louisville City side is in this position for a reason, and they are coming off a tremendous win, scoring 8 unanswered goals in their most recent match against Swope Park.
Really, Tyler, I've never seen anything like it. You know, to go down 3-0 in the first half and then to be able to tie the game up before the half is over, and then to, of course, go on and win 8-3 is just really incredible. But, you know, they're the back-to-back champions for a reason, and when it gets around playoff time, they really take it up a couple of notches.
A raucous match with 11 goals scored combined between Swope Park Rangers and Lou City to close out their time at Slugger Field. Memphis potentially a chance here, but Adam Najim had that one skitter just a little bit in front of him from Marcus Epps.
Yeah, really good idea there from Marcus Epps. You can see what he was trying to do. He was looking to hit Adam Najim on that streaking run inside the 18-yard box, but unfortunately could not connect.
4 goals and 4 assists for Epps this year. One of the offensive leaders for this Memphis 901 FC. Sean Tosh will feed it across to Speedy Williams on that dangerous back line. Looks a little more normal in this match. They were starting 2 fresh center backs in that match against Swope Park Rangers, perhaps maybe what set them a little bit off kilter early going in that match. And this one will skitter through the goal line for a goal kick for Scott Levine. Seen a little more of Scott Levine of late, given the fact that Jeff Caldwell is here on loan. Not a bad idea near the end of the season to just give Levine a little bit of rope and let him show you what he can do.
And, not only is Tim Quinn giving him a chance, but I think Scott Levine has earned it. He stayed solid and stayed ready all season long. And, when in fact, as you said, Tyler, he signed with the team, and Jeff Caldwell is on loan from New York City, so he could be called back at any moment. So his future is kind of up in the air in terms of that. So giving Scott Levine a chance, at the end of the season, I think is a really smart decision from Tim Quinn and his staff.
This Memphis side has been defense-oriented. 56 goals on the year for Lou City, ranking 12th overall in the league. 36 for Memphis, the third highest, or rather I should say the third lowest total among the 36 USL teams. Brandon Allen trying to win the aerial there. Sent ahead along the side. Da Silva couldn't get it going.
Yeah, Pierre Da Silva being really aggressive early on, which is what you want to see, but Oscar Jimenez doing a pretty good job of standing Pierre Da Silva up, and Nepo Matsotso coming over and with the help defense was really good for Louisville City.
Here's Ownby. And Ownby ran right up the back of Cam Lindley.
Yeah, really smart defending there from Cam Lindley. Just put his body in front of Ryan Obi. As you see, they shake hands there. No harm, no foul. But really good defending from Cam Lindley.
Here's a chance for Marcus Epps, but he's a little bit far forward. The flag goes up on the former South Florida Bull.
See Marcus Epps in that 901 FC attack trying to catch Louisville City off guard, but Louisville City, Sean Tosh, back there holding a really strong line for Louisville City, catching Marcus Epps offside.
Memphis was able to execute a couple of counterattacks in that match against Charleston earlier this week, but they were not able to convert any of them. Let's take a look at Memphis 901 FC's keys to the match, presented by My City Rides. See how much you'll save when you scoot. JJ, our keys for this game?
Our first key to the match, pressing moments. When the ball is played backwards or there is a turnover, that is your cue to press higher up the field. Try to win that ball back. Fearless attack. This is the last game of the season. Attack with numbers and take chances going forward. One final statement. You're facing the back-to-back USL champs. What better way than to close out the 2019 season with a win at home for the home fans?
The rivalry between Louisville and Memphis extends further than just the park that's below us and the teams playing in it. Longtime rivals, University of Louisville, University of Memphis, in college athletics, dating back into the 1980s and even further. Old Conference USA foes and sometime American Athletic Conference foes on the college side of things. And Louisville, of course, a very talented soccer program, though this season the Memphis Tigers coming away with a huge victory last night over one of the top-ranked teams in the country, SMU. So the soccer developing nicely in the Bluff City at the pro and amateur levels.
Absolutely, go Tigers.
We know where JJ stands on that, without a doubt. Just a few minutes in here at AutoZone Park. 901 FC trying to close out their inaugural season here at home in front of a pinked-out crowd. Pink shirts, the giveaway this evening in support of breast cancer awareness. Couldn't find a pink shirt, unfortunately, for Scott Levine. That's okay. We'll try for that next year. Probably against kit regulations. Neither side winning the lion's share of the possession just yet.
Yeah, so far, a really cagey match in the first 7 minutes of this game between 901 FC and Louisville. I suspect Louisville, as you see here, there's a lot of contact here between Wes Sharpie and Antoine Hoppeneau. Looked to be kind of a 50-50 ball, but Hoppeneau not really looking for the ball, and more so looking towards to make contact with Wes Sharpie. And that official, Laurent Varga, awarded that foul to Memphis.
Epps vying for it along the sideline. And this is Magnus Rasmussen, who will give it away. Good challenge by the Memphians. Epps. And had it knocked away. Out of play, but still Memphis possessing.
I think it's been a strong start so far, Tyler, for 901 FC. Louisville's a team that really likes to dominate possession. They like to have a lot of the ball, and especially a lot of the ball in the attacking third. But 901 FC has done a really good job of taking that ball back from Louisville and earning a good bit of possession themselves.
Birch. Sharpie flicked on. Wesley Sharpie. Cam Lindley will push it forward and across for De Silva.
Just a lovely touch there from Pierre De Silva. Just really kills that ball, knocks it dead from the 30-yard diagonal ball from Cam Lindley. You can see it's going to be a really, really strong matchup between Oscar Jimenez and Pierre De Silva on the right-hand side of the field.
Epps trying to get loose, working towards space. Marcus Epps switches feet, lines one through. Oh, Marcus Epps on the bounce, and it's a 1-0 lead here in the 9th minute.
What an incredible piece of skill there from Marcus Epps. Faked the shot on his right foot, cut it back onto his left, and then caught Chris Hubbard at that near post from right outside the 18-yard box. Really an incredible finish from Marcus Epps in 901 FC.
Chris Hubbard, no slouch over there. 64 saves and 5 clean sheets this year. He will not have one tonight.
You saw that lovely piece of skill there from Marcus Epps. Fakes the shot on his right foot, leaves Sean Tosh in the dust, opens up his hips, and then just slots that thing near post on Chris Hubbard. Catches him flat-footed. Really quality finish there from Marcus Epps.
And for Marcus Epps, goal number 5 overall this season. As Memphis 901 FC takes the early lead over Lou City.
Really strong start from 901 FC, not letting Louisville City come in here and just dominate and dictate the pace of the game. 901 FC really being the aggressor so far in the first 10 minutes of this match.
The goal by number 30, Marcus Epps. In the 9th minute for Memphis, brought to you by Chick-fil-A Mid-South. And the 901 chant starts up with the accompanying pink smoke bomb down by the Bluff City Mafia. Behind the west goal as 901 tries to work to get in position once more. Here's De Silva. Will feed to the left side. Epps on a nice run, but had it intercepted before he could get there.
It's really good to see Pierre De Silva and Cam Lindley continue to look for Marcus Epps on the left-hand side of the field.
Here's Najim. Walled off in the corner. Adam Najim didn't have enough help. Didn't have any help. And a good take back by Sharpie.
It's a lovely ball there.
Sending Najim.
A lot of contact there between Speedy Williams and Adam Najim, but Laurent Varga electing to play on.
Goal kick coming from Chris Hubbard, a Louisville resident.
See on the replay here, Devin Speedy Williams doing a pretty good job on the second look of getting in a good position to be able to shield that ball over the goal line.
We talk about Lou City being back-to-back champions. Devin Williams, a.k.a. Speedy, one of 11 returning players from that squad last year that won the title under John Hackworth. That is part of the continuity that has helped Lou City to their success this year. Currently 6th in the Eastern Conference with 57 points. 3 more could get them as high as 4th in the playoff seeding, depending on other results tonight.
So far, Tyler, in the first 12 minutes of this game, Louisville really not able to get a strong spell of possession, which they're typically known for, possessing the ball so well as Brian Omi gets in position here and earns inside a corner kick. But so far, 901 FC doing a really good job of frustrating that Louisville City offense.
Some similar showings in that match against Swope Park Rangers for Lou City. Part of what led to their early deficit. Trailed by 3 goals and then ripped off 8 unanswered scores to take home the victory in their final match at Slugger Field in Louisville. Lynn Family Stadium being built for them for next year. This should be an in-swinging corner. Played back post. Levine able to punch it away.
Well done from Scott Levine there to make the correct decision and fan that ball away and not try to catch it.
Rasmussen surveying the landscape. Will give it away instead. On to the back for Sean Tosh. And the dispossession created by Memphis. Epps trying to work it forward up the sideline. Sharpie will take the throw. But instead, this looks like it will go the other way.
It's a really good tackle there from Brian Ownby to be able to go down to ground and commit and make that sliding challenge on Marcus Epps, and was able to kick it off Epps as well for a Louisville City throw-in.
McMahon heaves it in. Lou City will switch sides. Interception by Grandison. Now McMahon. Along the touchline. Trying to break loose is Openo. And Memphis defense not having that.
Yeah, it's well defended by Wes Sharpie. Antoine Hoppino was pulling out all the moves on him, and Wes Sharpie was able to stand them up as long as Cam Lindley as well.
And a chance here for Lou City. Working into the box. And finally Grandison there on the doorstep to say no, sir. One of the goals scored by Swope Park Rangers in that match, getting their 3-0 lead early, was actually a goal kick that came and ricocheted off a Rangers player back into the goal. Just trying to clear it away. You got to be careful in this instance when you got a lot of players on one side of the park, not to let that happen if the ball gets to Scott Levine, or for that matter to Chris Hubbard.
Absolutely, and Brian Ownby is also a very busy player and will a lot of times pressure Scott Levine into making some quicker decisions than he would do in the first place. So, but Scott Levine is very good for a young keeper with his feet, so I think he'll be just fine tonight.
Ownby, little one touch, back to McCabe, now Ownby. Brian Ownby, nowhere to turn. And with a wider view, Memphis defense holding strong.
It's well done from 901 FC to be able to stand up that Louisville City attack. I would have liked to have seen Jacob Hauser-Ramsey maybe keep possession of that ball instead of giving it right back to Louisville, but 901 FC doing a great job of staying in their blocks of four and not leaving any cracks for Louisville.
Into the 16th minute. So far the difference, a left-footed strike from Marcus Epps to put the Memphians on top of Lou City, 1-0.
Tyler, 901 FC needs to continue to look for Pierre Da Silva and Marcus Epps out wide. They're two extremely talented attacking players. That's a lovely volley there from Cam Lindley into Marcus Epps, and we have a counterattack.
Adam Najim trying to set things up. Epps halted for a moment. Epps to the middle. Woo! Najim there. Epps. Ground ball right at Chris Hubbard. And he's able to snatch it.
Love to see this, Tyler. Marcus Epps and Adam Najim combining nicely, just really showing the flair. This 901 FC attack just kind of letting it all hang out. And it's the last game of the season, and everyone is showing the flair tonight.
Memphis so far trying to go for broke. May as well, looking for their 10th victory of the season.
It's well done from Ewan Grandison to be able to track that ball there. As you see the combination play between Adam Najim and Marcus Epps, and Marcus Epps makes pretty decent contact with that ball. As you see the tricky bit of skill there from Najim, makes pretty decent contact with that shot, but unfortunately straight at Chris Hubbard.
Ownby trying to make things happen, has it taken away. Adam.
It's well done there from Speedy Williams on the nice tackle there, stopping Pierre Da Silva in his tracks.
And Da Silva will have to retreat with the rest of Memphis 901 FC. This Memphis team second to last near the end of August in the standings, or I should say at the beginning of August in the standings, and then went on a brilliant run through September to climb all the way up into the playoff picture near the end. Ownby in the middle, and a chance on, but poked away, still loose. The Memphis defense trying to hold, and Cam Lindley able to shepherd that ball to safety.
Neither Cam Lindley nor Marcus Epps too pleased with that decision there from our official Laurent Varga.
Rasmussen patient.
See the technical ability of Louisville City in tight spaces, how nicely they work the ball around, and how confident they are in each other and their movement and in their passing.
Rasmussen, a little flick on. De Silva there to snip it out.
Really athletic clearance there from Pierre De Silva, doing a really good job of tracking back and marking Magnus Rasmussen closely.
And now potential for a counter. This Memphis side so well supported in their inaugural season. Third highest average attendance among expansion clubs. Kept alive, but nowhere to go with it from Wesley Sharpie.
Yeah, not a bad idea there from Wes Sharpie, trying to wriggle free of Pat McMahon there as 901 FC regains possession.
Sharpie out wide. Wes Sharpie looking to feed the middle. Was looking across for De Silva. It never got there.
Yeah, Wes Sharpie didn't quite have the numbers there on that service, and it wasn't his best service with his weaker left foot. But Brandon Allen was streaking towards that near post, looking to score more goals.
From the back. And knocked out by Lou City. This Lou City side, a +16 goal differential, 7th best in the Eastern Conference. 3-1-1 in their last 5. Gunning for their 3rd consecutive USL title. And a dispossession, but a foul called that'll give Lou City time to set up.
Really smart play there from Niall McCabe. He realized he didn't have a lot of numbers going forward, but he felt that pressure from Dan Metzger coming in behind and just put his body in front of Dan Metzger and dropped his body and earned the foul for Louisville City.
McCabe, one of the inaugural members of Lou City, has been with the club a long time.
That's really the benefit that Louisville City has, as Oscar Jimenez is streaking forward. It's really the benefit that Louisville City has is they have so many returning players that have been with the club for multiple years, which is pretty rare, Tyler, in the USL Championship, as there can be sometimes a lot of turnover. And, you know, it shows in their play as they're the back-to-back champions for a reason.
John Hackworth coming in mid-season last year after an unusual situation where their previous coach left in the middle of the year to take an MLS post. And they ran with 3-player coaches for a couple of weeks in 2018. Stayed afloat enough to get into the playoffs, and once you get there, anything can happen. Allen giving chase, unable to catch up.
It's good to see Brandon Allen continuing to chase and put pressure on Chris Hubbard. As we saw last week, he had a bit of a blunder, as you said earlier, Tyler, against Swope Park. So I'm sure Tim Mulqueen has stressed to Brandon Allen to put pressure on the goalkeeper.
A chance here, taken away by Birch. He's been essentially the safety blanket, a source of comfort whenever the ball gets deep in Memphis's territory. Into the 23rd minute, still only one score, and not from the higher scoring team, Memphis 901 FC, with the early advantage on a 9th minute strike from the left foot of Marcus Epps. Zawahi. Ownby. And dispossessed by Metzger. Clearance from Levine to midfield. And Lindley gonna send it forward. The Silva long run.
Another lovely half volley there from Cam Lindley. Just spraying balls all over the field, but well defended by Oscar Jimenez.
Metzger working for it. It's in space. McCabe. Back to McMahon. Now McCabe will send it through. Levine aggressively keeps that from being a chance for Openo.
It's good awareness from Scott Levine there. He was always going to catch that ball. He saw Niall McCabe streaking down the channel and stepped off his line nicely to be able to collect that ball.
Lindley forward. Najim lets it play through him. Not as many counterattacking opportunities for 901 here as they had against Charleston in their midweek 2-0 loss.
Yeah, I think Louisville City has been a little bit more compact, a little bit more aware in terms of counterattacking opportunities, and you can see him can start to really ramp up the pressure as Scott Levine played that ball out of bounds. But you see Louisville City starting to wake up a little bit, if you will, and putting a little bit more pressure on that 901 FC back line.
Jimenez on the throw. Now Rasmussen and McMahon. Crossed in and a flick on, off target from the head of Brian Ownby.
Really good service there from Niall McCabe, whipping that ball into the head of Brian Ownby, but it's difficult to tell what Brian Ownby was trying to do there. He's trying to flick it on, and I'm not sure if he was trying to flick that on towards goal or towards his strike partner, Magnus Rasmussen, but either way, that trickled over the line for a 901 FC goal kick.
Levine picks out Epps. Da Silva. Pierre Da Silva. A little hand fighting with McMahon there.
Yeah, good battle there between Pierre Da Silva. Silva showing some nice skill, but McMahon streaking forward now.
Pat McMahon. Blocked by Lindley. And now a rough challenge from behind on Da Silva.
Yeah, a bit of a cynical tackle there from Pat McMahon, completely stopping any counterattack opportunity. Might have been probably his first foul, so not yellow card worthy yet, but Laurent Varga will for sure have his eye on Pat McMahon. As you saw here, Pierre Da Silva starting to gain a head of steam, and McMahon just clipping his ankles from behind.
Little flat tire. So Da Silva will blow it back up and continue on. Cross to Epps near the top of the 18. Ownby. Rasmussen wants to send it forward for Openo. And nobody on the receiving end that time.
It's really well defended there from Mark Birch. Really good positioning as he was tracking Antoine Hoppino streaking down the channel, and you saw there Hoppino and Brian Ownby a little bit frustrated with each other right now, not quite yet able to get on the same page.
Surprisingly, it has been the Memphians with the early advantage, looking a little more cohesive. This Lou City side, one of the stalwarts of USL championship play. Memphis, a first-year team. Second time seeing them, giving them as much as they can handle in this first half. Rasmussen, Ownby just wide.
It's a really good combination play there between Brian Ownby and Magnus Rasmussen. A really slick pass from Magnus Rasmussen to be able to find Brian Ownby in stride. As you saw here, just slipped Brian Ownby in behind the 901 FC defense, and Ownby trying to sneak that ball past the near post, but Scott Levine in a great position to be able to force that shot wide.
Scott Levine, the former UConn Husky, doing a good job cutting down the angle. approaching the 30th minute here in the first half. 901 FC with the 1-0 lead on Lou City. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Alongside JJ Greer, I'm Tyler Springs. This is Memphis 901 FC soccer taking on Louisville City FC in the final match of Memphis' inaugural season here in 2019. Off his line comes Levine, sliding to take that one into his arms.
Really good combination there between the two young players, Scott Levine and Jacob Hauser-Ramsey. Hauser-Ramsey indicated to Levine that this ball might not roll out of bounds, and Levine was able to come off his line and collect that ball.
Epps. Allen. A little two-man game. Epps to the middle.
Ooh, that's lovely there from Kim Lindley.
Lindley playing hide and seek with it. And put away to the sideline.
Yeah, unfortunately 901 FC not able to retain possession on that play after two lovely moves there from Marcus Epps and Kim Lindley.
Can't say enough about what Lindley has brought to this club after being added in April. 56 chances created, the top 25 in the league in that category. 7 assists, ranking in the top 15 in the USL there.
Yeah, Kim Lindley has been arguably 901 FC's best and most consistent player, especially offensively. You see Marcus Epps continuing to toy with the Louisville City defense and is now streaking down the field.
Epps on the move. Epps to the middle. Allen. A header right to the feet of Chris Hubbard.
It's a lovely ball there from Marcus Epps. Fantastic service onto the head of Brandon Allen, who made great contact with that ball, but unfortunately was straight at Chris Hubbard once again. But I'll tell you what, Tyler, Marcus Epps has had an incredible game.
Open O to the middle for Ownby, challenging Mark Birch, and Mark Birch was right in his hip pocket.
See, this game really starting to open up now as a great move there from Dan Metzger. This game really starting to open up now as Louisville City, of course, has to score if they want to continue to climb the ladder for the USL playoffs. And 901 FC just playing free and open right now.
Pushed forward for Epps. Marcus Epps.
You saw here the bit of skill there. A little tap there from Marcus Epps, and then once again catches Oscar Jimenez sleeping and then whips in a dime piece of a ball to Brandon Allen, who caught all of that ball, but Chris Hubbard in the right position at the right time.
Tremendous service for Memphis. The result not quite there. And on they go. Suwahi back to Hubbard. Chris Hubbard in the lime green kit. Scott Levine for Memphis in the canary yellow. Open O. All the way in for a streaking Magnuson. Didn't find room for it. The results that Lou City depends on this evening are a loss or a draw between Tampa Bay and Hartford. And the same for New York Red Bulls 2 and Loudoun United. But those matchups are playoff teams against decidedly non-playoff teams. Might be hard to expect things to go the way that would help out Lou City, but nonetheless, they've got nothing in mind right now other than tying up this match for one.
Looks like we have a foul called off of that Scott Levine goal kick. This will be a dangerous position for 901 FC.
Birch and Lindley have shared this duty all season long.
I suspect this might be a Mark Birch in-swinging free kick right on top of that PK spot.
Birch pushes out wide, didn't get the bend on it that he wanted to.
Well, I think, Tyler, he was aiming for more of a driven ball instead of bending that, and he was driving that ball towards the back post, towards the corner of that 6-yard box, but Unfortunately, Pierre De Silva was not able to catch up to that ball for 901 FC.
So you like the shape, but not the direction.
Yeah, I think there was probably a little bit too much power on it, and Pierre De Silva did not quite get enough of a head start to be able to catch that ball.
Lou City working quickly, trying to get forward to the offensive third. McCabe. Omby with a simple touch. Lou City trying to pick their poison. Or perhaps their weapon. Memphis not giving a lot of time or room. Omby chipped on and headed clear. Williams. Outside McMahon. Pushed into the middle, and the header off target. Well wide of the mark there, I believe Rasmussen on the receiving end.
Guys, once again, really lovely service there from, I believe that was Niall McCabe, and Magnus Rasmussen rose really well and rose up over everybody to be able to get his head on the ball, but was not able to put that ball on target, and is now once again a Scott Levine goal kick.
.901 FC seeking their 10th win of the season. Beg your pardon. Would be their 6th win at home. Birch back to Levine, a little dangerous there. Levine able to keep it in, gets it away. Omby. McMahon will switch. Jimenez. And some miscommunication between Rasmussen and Oppenheim.
You see Louisville City still a little bit off in terms of their ball movement, but I think you got to give a lot of credit to that 901 FC midfield and back line. Their blocks of 4 are shifting really nicely and have just frustrated Louisville City throughout this first half.
36th minute, still a 1-0 Memphis advantage. And now a foul called in a dangerous area. Wesley Sharpie incredulous.
Yeah, a lot of contact there between Pierre De Silva and Brian Ownby, and Pierre De Silva was trying to say, you know, that was all shoulder-to-shoulder contact, but referee Laurent Varga thought differently, and there's a lot of shoulder there, and Pierre De Silva might have a bit of a case to make. It was very strong, but I think Laurent Varga took exception to the fact that it didn't look like Pierre De Silva was looking at the ball, and he instead was only looking at the man. That was Brian Ownby.
So now Ownby and McCabe with a frank conversation. A chance perhaps for the equalizer. McCabe bends it on toward goal. Headed past Levine, and Lou City has evened things here in the 37th minute.
It's fantastic delivery there from Niall McCabe. Just whipped it directly on top of the 6-yard box where Devin Speedy Williams was waiting and put that diving header into the back of the net.
Tough break for Scott Levine. Well played by Lou City.
You saw on the replay here, this was a really nicely whipped in ball, and Speedy Williams is really wide open inside the 6-yard box. And you know, you got to think, does Scott Levine have to come out for that ball, or should Speedy Williams be marked closer than that, or maybe a combination of both? But a really soft free kick to give up for 901 FC.
Tied at 1. here in Memphis. Anybody's contest in the regular season finale for 901 FC.
Well, I think, Tyler, we knew if Louisville City can come back from a 3-0 deficit to win 8-3, they could for sure come back from a 1-0 deficit here in Memphis tonight.
A record 7 different players scored in that 8-3 game that Lou City took against Wolf Park Rangers in the finale at Slugger Park in Louisville.
Really, Tyler, almost a really dangerous play right there between Ewan Grandison and Scott Levine, as there was a miscommunication there and probably a misplaced pass from Ewan Grandison. And if that ball was more towards on net for 901 FC, we could have been looking at an own goal.
That's the only thing I think that saved Memphis that time, was that it was so far to the left of the post. So here comes a corner. Jimenez, one of the best crossers in the USL. Sent back post, and no one home.
It's another fantastic delivery from Oscar Jimenez, who, on top of that, Tyler, he takes right-footed and left-footed crosses, and it's the same delivery every time. It's really incredible skill to have, but a lot of contact there inside the 6-yard box, but Laurent Varga electing to play on. You see on the replay here, a really nice in-swinging cross, and a lot of contact between Sean Tosh and Dan Metzger in the 6-yard box, but nothing doing on that play.
Allen, a little bit short of the mark for the aerial. This is Grandison. And McCabe will pick it up.
Not too sure what the call was in that play. Might have been a high boot there from Niall McCabe.
McMahon away into the pink-shirted crowd here on Pink Out Night in support of breast cancer research awareness and breast cancer awareness overall. Pink Out Night is presented by Baptist Cancer Center. Thanks to the hard work they do, trying to solve one of the toughest problems in American medicine, and worldwide medicine for that matter. Wes Sharpie will take the throw from De Silva as Memphis tries to work their way back into the lead. Even at 1 with Lou City, and Ownby was not giving an inch there to De Silva.
Yeah, really strong challenge, but completely fair from Brian Ownby, not letting Pierre De Silva bully him. What a ball there from Adam Najee.
Played on, and I think play stopped, perhaps because there was a second ball in park for a moment.
Yeah, really good look there from Adam Najee, trying to find Cam Lindley, making that run through the Louisville City defense, but Sean Tosh was there to make a strong play in defending and earned his side of foul. You saw on the replay there, a lovely no-look ball from Adam Najee, and Cam Lindley and Sean Tosh end up colliding, and that's the correct call from Laurent Varga.
Tosh, one of the best defenders in the league. Openo with green grass in front of him. Openo to the middle. And taken away by Memphis. Ewan Grandison with the steal.
You see how many players are just harassing Brandon Allen. As soon as he touches the ball, he's got about 3 Louisville City players on his back.
McMahon out wide for Ownby. Wide open for Openo before a flag goes up or a whistle called. And Lindley and Rasmussen are giving each other the business, and now Birch is there to stand up for his side. Birch and McCabe nose to nose.
Yeah, that play started with a high boot from Magnus Rasmussen, who was looking for the overhead kick and just caught Ewan Grandison square in the face. And I think Mark Birch took exception to the fact that, hey, if you're going to kick my guy in the face, at least say you're sorry, you know. But Rasmussen just kind of walked away. As you saw, it was a lovely ball whipped in from Brian Ownby, and Rasmussen trying the overhead kick and just completely misses the ball and catches Ewan Grandison in the face, but you know, didn't acknowledge Grandison at all. And I think Mark Birch, the captain for 901 FC, was trying to stand up for his teammates there.
So a card shown to Niall McCabe. Varga will put the book away and let things resume from the foot of Scott Levine. Closing in on halftime here in Memphis in what has been a back-and-forth contest. A chance here goes right into the arms of Chris Hubbard.
It's well done for Pierre Da Silva, showing good strength once again to be able to hold off his defender and then get a shot on goal as well. But Chris Hubbard once again in the right position.
Hubbard, former Gatorade Player of the Year in Kentucky. The yellow card, in fact, goes on Magnus Rasmussen. Coming up at halftime, we've got our 901 FC debuts and their fall merchandise. A great look for anybody buying presents this fall before Christmas. A playoff look at the Eastern Conference and some stats from this first half, as Memphis and 901 FC thus far, through 42 minutes and change, have battled to a 1-1 draw. I think I need a scarf. I don't know if there's going to be perhaps some 901 FC scarves available this fall, but my guess is yes.
Oh, there's already been the scarves. They've got some great gear down in the team store, 901 FC, but it'd be great to load up for early Christmas.
Why have one scarf? You can have them all. Allen trying to get loose, and once again jailed. Grandison giving chase against Openo. That's a ground roll double into the bullpen. Grandison on the throw. Expecting the signal of extra time to come soon from our fourth official.
See Adam Najim trying to get Devin Speedy Williams carded, or at least one of the Louisville City players carded for crowding him after the restart, and he's trying to kick it off Devin Speedy Williams, but Laurent Varga not falling for Adam Najim's pleas.
1 minute of extra time added on here at the end of the first half. Memphis 901 FC has played Moose City evenly. Goals from Marcus Epps and Speedy Williams that brought us even at 1-1. Da Silva, Epps, Lindley. Still an opportunity. Cam Lindley, too much traffic.
Yeah, it was well done from Cam Lindley, streaking forward, trying to make something happen, but never really quite had that ball under control.
Olby looking to chase it down and does. Sharpie pokes it out. And that will be the conclusion of the first half. Memphis 901 FC tied 1-1 with Louisville City FC through 45 minutes of action. Lots of good in this first half, JJ Greer, but still some work to be done to get the 901 a win coming up. We'll take a quick break and come back to AutoZone Park in a moment. You're watching 901 FC Soccer. And it's a 1-0 lead.
What an incredible, fantastic clip.
Not the best dismount there, Mark. I'm sorry. All right. So that cough button does work?
Yes, it does.
Okay. News to me. Back at halftime, where Memphis 901 FC is tied 1-1 with Louisville City FC. Time to take a look at the debuting fall merchandise line for the 901 and their supporters coming out this autumn.
What this club is trying to do is offer a real sense of community.
But it's all about the process. Make sure you're doing the little things right.
We have a really strong locker room, and everybody really wants to do well for the club.
Good afternoon, faithful. This is a big day. This is a big deal for us. This is a win for the community.
You know, we've been averaging, between, I would say, 10 and 12,000 a game.
And it is a loud, boisterous 10,000, 12,000, and they love us, and we love them just as much. I mean, it's a reciprocal relationship at all times.
We never thought that we would grow this fast.
I have to pinch myself because, it sometimes seems too good to be true, but it's not. It's been pretty unbelievable, and it's been done better than I ever could have dreamt of, to be honest.
This is a club for New Mexico, by New Mexicans.
And I don't think that we're done yet. It's just getting started.
FC pub partners who have been with us all season long. Aldo's Pizza Pies, Silky O'Sullivan's, High Cotton Brewing, Crosstown Brewing, Soccer City 901 Taco Bar, Brass Store, Celtic Crossing, and Meddlesome Brewing. The USL has announced an extension with ESPN Plus for the next 3 years, so be sure to tune in next year to catch 901 FC in action on your local device. And despite tonight being the final game of the season, you have the opportunity to lock in your seats for every 901 FC home match next year. Season tickets are available now, starting at the incredible price of just $10 per match. Call 901-722-6000 or visit memphis901fc.com/season tickets today. Back at halftime, Memphis 901 FC even with Louisville City FC in what has been a back-and-forth contest. We'll do a look around the league as well, just to keep you posted on what else is happening in USL play. Tonight, North Carolina and St. Louis doing battle. North Carolina's spot in the playoffs is secure, but St. Louis needs a result badly to make it into the field. St. Louis most likely will need 3 points, assuming Charleston can beat a struggling Bethlehem Steel side at home, which they did this afternoon. They are currently a point behind both Birmingham and Charleston. As for Pittsburgh taking on Birmingham tomorrow, Pittsburgh will most likely need a win to secure the top spot in the East. That's with the assumption that Nashville beats Atlanta United 2 at home. Birmingham will most likely need 3 points if both St. Louis and Charleston win on Saturday in order to get into the playoffs. Birmingham and Pittsburgh coming your way tomorrow. Tampa Bay and New York looking for top 4 finishes, and certainly Lou City paying attention tonight. Tampa Bay on the road against Hartford, needing 3 points this evening. New York Red Bulls, too, facing a tough Loudoun United side on the road. They need 3 points as well. Our scoreboard this evening updating you on all the action. Hartford takes down Tampa Bay Rowdies in unlikely fashion 2-1. You saw earlier today Charleston Battery was able to knock off Bethlehem Steel with no trouble. Charleston taking down, or rather I should say Charlotte taking down Ottawa. North Carolina, a 1-0 win over St. Louis. That is probably curtains for St. Louis's chances in the playoffs. Nashville winners 3-0 over Atlanta United 2. And an incredible 6-1 lead for Loudoun United over the New York Red Bulls. Our standings look as you see on your screen. Pittsburgh Riverhounds, the top seed, 65 points. And on the edge of that playoff picture, just sneaking in, Birmingham Legion FC. So St. Louis likely out of this playoff race. J.J. Greer, that St. Louis side, a storied squad, but it looks like Charleston and Birmingham able to get into the playoffs in 2019. As for our playoffs, or rather as for our stats here from 3rd and Union, in that first half, J.J. Greer, pretty closely contested between Memphis and Lou City despite the possession numbers.
Yeah, very closely contested, fiercely contested, I should say, in the first 20 minutes of the game. And 901 FC really started off very strong in this match, but Louisville City came storming back as they did last week versus Swope Park and came back to tie this game and really started to dominate possession towards the end of that first half.
Strange to see the Memphians without a corner kick in that first half. Your halftime stats presented by Memphis Area Rideshare. Hopefully a little more in store for the 901 coming up. We'll have more soccer for you in a moment from 3rd and Union, Memphis 901 FC and Louisville City FC. Second half coming up next. You know, sometimes.
On the right-hand side of the field.
Epps trying to get loose, working towards. Union. AutoZone Park hosting Memphis 901 FC for the final time this evening. They're knotted up 1-1 at halftime between the 901 and Louisville City FC, a playoff-bound team. Alongside J.J. Greer, I'm Tyler Springs. Looking forward to more good stuff in the second half from the Memphians. The first half highlights coming your way in a moment on CW30 and ESPN+. Bluff City Mafia loving their lives right now, and it's in part because Memphis did the work they had to do in that first half, JJ, and it starts with the work of Marcus Epps.
Yeah, Marcus Epps was really incredible in that first half. Time and time again, continued to run at players. You saw that beautiful fake shot with the right foot and then put it on his left, opened up his hips, and then just slotted it right past Chris Hubbard and continued to celebrate with his teammates.
Marcus Epps giving the 901 the lead. Had some future chances in that half, including this one with a nice little flick from behind by Adam Najim, but could not slot it home. And coming back the other way, Scott Levine has been solid tonight in goal, but a chance finally came through after a lot of opportunities for Louisville City.
Yeah, Scott Levine on this particular play did a really good job of closing down the angle. And as you see Marcus Epps continuing to toy with those Louisville City defenders and whip in dime pieces to Brandon Allen.
Brandon Allen had a great chance there, but unfortunately, Niall McCabe had the last say in that first half, feeding one curling into the box for Speedy Williams, who put it through with the head. And it brings us to an even 1-1 score at halftime. The Bluff City Mafia trying to keep the drumbeat for the Memphians in their final home match of 2019. Good news for fans, though. You can enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. The USL is excited to announce that the championship and League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games a year are going to be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Second half kickoff moments away between Memphis 901 FC and Louisville City FC. As we see Speedy Williams, who scored that goal in the first half for Lou City, trying to stay loose. Adam Najim the same. Little cooler this evening, starting to feel more like fall around these parts. J.J. Greer, any adjustment advice for this Memphis side in the second half?
No, I don't think you need to make any, wholesale changes in terms of personnel and in the style of play. I thought it was a very good first half from 901 FC. You were aggressive going forward. I think maybe on set pieces you need to be a little bit more assertive. Scott Levine needs to be a little bit more assertive coming out for set pieces, as well as the center backs.
Tim Mulqueen's side, a chance to get double digits in the win column in their inaugural season if they can pull off an unlikely upset on a day where we have already had a number of unlikely upsets around the USL. Scott Levine finds an open pasture down the left flank. It'll be McMahon to go out and heave it back in for Lou City. (1-1) just moments out of halftime as Memphis 901 FC looks to avenge a 2-1 loss to Lou City from earlier in the year. Possession given away a little too easily that time. Tosh. Swahi at the back. No hurry from this Louisville City side.
Yeah, no hurry from Louisville City or 901 FC. You see 901 FC electing to have that line of confrontation around the midfield mark, and Louisville City just knocking it around nicely.
This one able to skip through. Wes Sharpie plays it right back into the hands of Lou City, but a handball I think going to be called here by Laurent Varga.
It's well done from Dan Metzger, a cheeky piece of skill, if you will, to chip that ball up over the hand of the Louisville City defender, and I believe that might have been McMahon who put his hand on that ball, and Laurent Varga makes the correct handball call.
So Mark Birch will send it ahead for Marcus Epps, already with 1 goal to his name from earlier this evening. Possession in this contest, a 60-40 split in favor of Lou City. Playoff bound side under head coach John Hackworth, who came in mid-season in 2018 and led them to their second consecutive title. Looking for 3 in a row. McMahon hounded by Epps. Rasmussen in the center. Gets it to safety. Jimenez, one of the best passers in the USL. Grandison now forward. Najim couldn't quite control it to Allen. It'll go right to Hubbard.
So a decent idea there from Adam Najim. You can see he was trying to hit the half volley across the field to Marcus Epps, but didn't quite execute the pass.
Open O. Jimenez looking to get Lou City the advantage. Good header by Hauser Ramsey keeps that from happening.
Strong header there from Hauser Ramsey. I think 901 FC needs to continue to be aggressive. I think right now they're being a little bit too passive in defending Louisville City, and Louisville City eventually will start to creep further and further up the field and have more and more chances.
McMahon working against Epps. Little give and go. Omby tried to work it with him. 901 FC trying to foil it.
It's well done there. Combination play between Nepo Matsoso and Speedy Williams is Louisville City having a lot of possession in the first 5 minutes of this second half.
And played ahead by McMahon, a shade too far. It did feel like they were slowly compressing Memphis, kind of in a funnel shape toward the goal. But a lucky break on the overplay.
This is really the opposite start of the first half from 901 FC, who really started off on the front foot with their foot on the gas, really attacking Louisville City. And in the second half, it's Louisville City that's had a lot of possession in their own half and around midfield. But eventually, if you give them time and space, they will attack the goal.
McCabe looking for a centering ball. Finding room. Grandison there in the center. Knocked on a hop from Ownby, but it goes right to Levine.
Once again, 901 FC giving Louisville City and now McCabe way too much time and space in their own defensive third, as Brian Ownby almost caught that ball cleanly. You see Magnus Rasmussen not able to get his head on it, but Brian Ownby was there to get a strike on that ball, but unfortunately was not able to put the power on it that he wanted.
Fortunate break for 901. And now Najim wants to go forward. Epps came up a little bit gimpy there, but I believe this will be Memphis's first corner of the match. Whatever Epps was trying to say to Laurent Varga, I think it fell on deaf ears.
Laurent Varga has really stayed strong tonight in dealing with player complaints, as most good referees usually do.
Cam Lindley, target acquired. Birch, chipped in. At the back, Epps right there for it, but the header a little bit high.
It's a lovely whipped in ball from Mark Birch, who caught the rebound, the Cam Lindley rebound, if you will, and found Marcus Epps at that back post. And the ball popped up on Marcus Epps, and he really couldn't decide what to do with it and tried to head it quickly, but unfortunately put that ball over the crossbar for 901 FC. As you see the replay here, a lovely whipped in ball from Mark Birch, who found Marcus Epps at that back post, but Nepo Matsoso able to put enough pressure to be able to speed up Marcus Epps.
Could not quite get the control in time. Memphis throw. This is Sharpie. Patient. The The road to the 2019 USL Final begins next week with the play-in games Wednesday, October the 23rd, followed by a full slate of conference quarterfinals beginning Saturday, October the 26th. For specific match dates and times, visit USLChampionship.com and tune in for every minute of playoff action on ESPN+. Alongside J.J. Greer, I'm Tyler Springs. Memphis 901 FC in their final match of their inaugural season, hosting Lou City, a playoff-bound club, and so far equal at 1-1 in the 53rd minute. Goals from Marcus Epps and Speedy Williams, both coming in the first half. Rasmussen swung across for Ownby. Can they get clever here? Ownby to the middle. Couldn't get to a strong foot. Rasmussen has it deflected. Still danger from Jimenez. Fires it over.
It's good combination play there between Louisville City, Niall McCabe, and Brian Ownby, and ended up falling at the foot of Magnus Rasmussen. And
they're going to say this is a Lou City corner.
Yeah, really interesting call there. It looked like Oscar Jimenez kicked that ball straight out of bounds, and he tried to claim that it hit off the foot of Ewan Grandison. And as we see on the replay as to what happened, and it didn't look like Ewan Grandison touched that ball at all, but Oscar Jimenez was able to convince Laurent Varga otherwise.
Jimenez headed away by Hauser Ramsey. Let's see if Memphis can work a counter. De Silva loses his footing. Turf Monster sprang up and got him.
Well, not only did Pierre De Silva lose his footing, but I think Antoine Hoppino might have caught him in the end as he was showing off all of his pace there and really just hopped Pierre De Silva down.
Lou City with possession. Opino, one of their better offensive players, formerly of Tampa Bay. Someone that John Hackworth deliberately went out to acquire after having coached him with Philadelphia Union. Jimenez from the left. A strike off of Lindley. And now Memphis trying to get control and a clearance. They do from Sharpie.
You can see Louisville City begin to be more and more aggressive in their attack as not only their attacking players are flying forward, but the outside backs such as Jimenez and Pat McMahon are starting to get forward and take shots as well.
Tosh back to Sawahi. Sean Tosh. Rasmussen. Masoso. Ownby. Brian Ownby, great feed, got him loose.
Wow.
Ownby just wide.
It's really incredible football there from Louisville City, putting on a clinic in the first part of this second half, just working the ball all around that 901 FC defense, and Brian Ownby was almost able to come up with a spectacular finish to what would have been a great team goal, as you saw the combination between Niall McCabe and Brian Ownby, but Scott Levine doing a great job of getting off of his line quickly and hurrying and incoming Brian Ownby as he just slotted that ball just wide of the near post.
Talk about the level of execution for this Louisville City side. Memphis has certainly seen the best of the conference late in the season. 12 of their final 17 matches have come against playoff sides.
And as you said, Tyler, this was always going to be a tough matchup against the back-to-back champions, Louisville City. And right now, 901 FC giving them a little bit too much respect and time and space in their own defensive third.
Lou City starting to get very comfortable.
It's a lovely turn there from Niall McCabe.
On to Jimenez. Jimenez with a right-footed strike, right at Levine.
And you can see what Jimenez was trying to do there on that play, trying to use those three toes and use the outside of his right boot and whip that ball around the back of the 901 FC back line, but Levine was in the right place.
Memphis expecting a substitute momentarily. likely to be Elliot Collier, who scored the franchise's first goal. Coming on as a sub, expected in moments. McMahon giving chase. Ownby. Lou City can almost unfold a lawn chair in Memphis' half right now. Dan Metzger giving a little bit of resistance.
Not only is 901 FC giving a lot of time and space to Louisville City, but, you know, I think part of the reason why Elliot Collier is coming on, Tyler, is there hasn't been too much offensively for 901 FC, so Elliot Collier will definitely bring a little bit more energy to that 901 FC front line.
It will be the New Zealand native Elliot Collier who will take the place of Adam Najam as a playmaker comes off in favor of a goal scorer.
Thought it was a decent performance from Adam Najam, especially in that first half, as him and Marcus Epps combined time and time again, but Adam Najam wasn't able to find too much of the ball here in the second half, and Tim Mulqueen is electing to put in Elliot Collier to try to find a little bit more active play up top for 901 FC.
Collier with 6 goals on the season for Memphis, including a hat trick earlier this year against Hartford. Top of the box, Hauser Ramsey there, vying for it on the aerial. Got position on Openo.
It's a good battle there between Openo and Hauser Ramsey, and a bit of a missed clearance opportunity there for Ewan Grandison.
Allen at the front. And Jimenez that time just a little bit wide of the mark. It looks as though John Hackworth will also go to his bench. We are about to see a substitute for Lou City as contact takes down De Silva at midfield. This should be Luke Spencer. Spencer in place of Alexis Suahi, so he is an offensively minded sub, similar to what Tim Mulqueen has put out there. Hackworth, a similar idea.
As you said, Todd, looks like an offense for defense sub. Is we have a 1-1 game here, and John Hackworth shows his cards and says, you know, we want to go win this game. We're trying to get another goal and improve our positions in the standings in terms of the 2019 playoffs. So, and Luke Spencer, what a sub to be able to bring off your bench.
You're not kidding. A chance on here, but no one on the receiving end of the intended pass for 901, though Metzger trying to keep it alive. And now Laurent Varga has something to say as Metzger's slow to get up. Talk about Luke Spencer. Originally, FC Cincinnati led Lou City in goals in 2017. 30 appearances last year and 7 goals.
Yeah, Luke Spencer's a real leader for this team, Louisville City, and actually took over as the head coach while they were without one during the 2018 season, and actually had the game-winning goal in the USL Championship final for Louisville City. So Luke Spencer really means a lot to this club, and what better person to trust and to put in the last 30 minutes of the game of the regular season.
Cam Lindley, back post, McMahon there to head it away.
It's not a bad idea there from Cam Lindley, looking for Marcus Epps on that back post, but it was well defended from Louisville City.
So another opportunity upcoming.
See on the replay here, Cam Lindley looking for Jacob Hauser Ramsey and Marcus Epps on that back post, but Pat McMahon there to defend it.
In swinger from Epps. Sniffed out and snuffed out by Lou City.
trying to target Brandon Allen in the middle. Elliott Collier was just behind him. Luke Spencer brings quite a bit of size into the fray on offense for Lou City, in addition to the reputation that precedes it. De Silva trying to wear a little punishment. Lindley.
See, 901 FC working the ball around nicely, but there's just not a lot of options inside the 18-yard box for the boys in blue.
De Silva made a run right at Speedy Williams, but unfortunately, Williams gave no ground, and Memphis has that one go out of bounds on them. We'll have to start over from the beginning. Birch. Allen. Brandon Allen gives to De Silva. Lindley open for a moment, had the shot attempt deflected. This will go off Ownby once again out through the touchline.
It's not a bad idea there from Cam Lindley, who has an incredible strike from distance, as we have seen a couple times this season, but great defending from the Louisville City defense.
De Silva has not been able to get anything going. Even at 1-1 between Memphis 901 FC and Lou City as we enter the 65th minute. Spencer. Metzger there.
You see the long legs from Luke Spencer, just able to get to balls that not many people can get to, and just really tricky offensively for Louisville City.
Nowhere to hide for the Memphis defense from the intimidating presence of Luke Spencer. De Silva trying to do a little too much there, but they're going to say Lou City was giving him the business.
And you can see how crafty Pierre De Silva is in the middle of the field and how strong he is. He's got that wiry strength, and he's so quick in the middle of the field for 901 FC, and there's a lot of contact there between Speedy Williams and Pierre De Silva, and you can see why Pierre De Silva is upset as he's getting so much contact in the middle of the field.
Chances on here for Lindley and for Birch. Epps found no room. How about Collier? The answer again is no.
Once again, it's really good defending from Louisville City. You see how many numbers they have surrounding the ball, and they just don't give an inch of space to any 901 FC attacking players.
Chances few and far between here in the second half. Marcus Epps, a first half goal for Memphis. Speedy Williams, a first half goal for Lou City. That's it. And the possession has favored Lou City, edging toward a 70-30 split.
And we thought coming into this game, Tyler, that Louisville City would have the edge in possession, but 901 FC has been really passive in how they're pressuring Louisville City in both ends of the field.
Lindley plays it forward for Epps. Chance for a little run out here, denied by McCabe.
It's well done from Niall McCabe to not allow any space for Marcus Epps, who's extremely dangerous with time and space on the ball.
Bluff City Mafia continuing to make noise at the west end behind the goal for what is the 2019 finale. Epps. One last memorable strike for the Memphians could send them gleefully into the offseason. Trying to play spoiler on a playoff-bound Lou City side. Open O. Slapped away by Levine. Played back to the middle for Spencer, but there to poke it free is Birch.
Saw Mark Birch was a little bit frustrated with Scott Levine there for not catching that ball and electing it to punch it away, as Mark Birch felt that that ball should have been caught by Scott Levine, and I can't disagree with him.
Grandison sending that one toward Brandon Allen on the aerial. Allen couldn't quite get his head to it. Epps. Forward for Collier. Lindley. Epps tried to dummy that one. It didn't go his way.
It's a decent idea there from Marcus Epps to try to dummy that ball for Elliott Collier, but Louisville City in the right position.
On the counter, Brian Ownby working toward McCabe, has it go wide.
It's good tracking there from Mark Birch on Niall McCabe, not allowing Niall McCabe any time or space to try to be able to cut that ball back for Luke Spencer, who was waiting inside the 6-yard box for Louisville.
Into the 70th minute here in Memphis, still even at 1 apiece.
And I think that man who you just saw on your screen right there, Brandon Allen, will be the key for another 901 FC goal. As of right now, it would come against the run of play, as Louisville City has really dominated possession and shots on goal in the second half for Louisville.
You talk about the run of play, JJ. Lou City very accustomed to have seen that, or rather to having seen that this week, as I would say at least 2 of the 3 goals that Swope Park scored in their match against Lou City earlier this week were both against the run of play. It did not ultimately have any impact on the result. Lou City ripped off 8 goals in response. And here they come with a chance in Memphis's half. The 901 throws everybody behind the ball. With the rising cheers of the Bluff City Mafia.
It's a dangerous position here for Louisville City, about 45 yards away from goal, with Niall McCabe standing over it once again.
McCabe bends it toward the top of the box. Right there for it was Brandon Allen.
This time the delivery from Niall McCabe not as efficient as his delivery in the first half.
Grandison. And a sub oncoming for Lou City. This will be Paolo DiPiccolo. Napo Masoso taken out. So here is the Colorado native Del Piccolo, a former University of Louisville Cardinal.
Del Piccolo is a Louisville City veteran, really strong in possession in the middle of the field for Louisville, and also a very creative and dynamic player going forward.
Del Piccolo was one of those 3 player coaches that led Lou City in 2018 amidst their coaching search. He, along with Luke Spencer and George Davis IV, took on leadership roles for the side that eventually won their 2nd consecutive USL title.
And that's exactly why he's wearing the captain's armband as he comes on the field now. And it's incredible to have essentially player coaches on the field for you in the dying 20 minutes of this game.
Memphis wanted a handball on Ownby. Instead, he drives a shot off of Burst. The deflection goes back to him, and he rolls a ground ball to Levine.
Really interesting sequence of events there as Brian Ownby got multiple cracks at it. And that first shot looked like it might have been going towards the back of the net. And his second shot not quite as good.
And again, Louisville takes possession. De Silva, Epps, Pierre De Silva. And a knockdown in the middle of the field as Brandon Allen went down without a call. De Silva feeds to no one.
That was a fantastic run there from Pierre De Silva, although the cross ended up with no good result. But once again, Pierre De Silva going on a mazy run, beating Louisville players time and time again.
De Silva, Epps.
It's a great idea there from Pierre De Silva, going for the blind pass to Marcus Epps, but wasn't able to catch him in stride.
Now Collier, as Memphis tries to recollect themselves. Straight from the back. Metzger. And now Leston Paul ushered on for Memphis. He'll come on to replace Cam Lindley. So this is the last we've seen of Cam Lindley in 2019. The veteran Leston Paul will take over. What a season for Cam Lindley, even though not able to do anything scorebook-wise this evening.
Yeah, fantastic game, this game in particular, and season overall for Cam Lindley, as he gets a huge hug from Tim Mulqueen, who I'm sure is congratulating on his season. And I'm not too sure why he's coming out with 15 minutes left in this game. Maybe he might have picked up an injury that we might not know about in the second half. But Leston Paul will come on, and he's a real defensive presence in the middle of the field for 901 FC.
Ownby, now McCabe, feathered a little too far. A goal kick coming for Levine. The road to the 2019 USL Championship Final begins next week with the play-in games set for Wednesday, October 23rd, followed by a full slate of conference quarterfinals beginning Saturday, October 26th. For specific match dates and times, visit uslchampionship.com and tune in for every minute of playoff action on ESPN+. Alongside JJ Greer, I'm Tyler Springs. Thanks for joining us for the final time in 2019 as Memphis 901 FC plays their regular season finale in their inaugural campaign against playoff-bound Louisville City FC. Goals in the first half from Marcus Epps as well as Speedy Williams have brought us to a 1-1 stalemate. 76th minute here at AutoZone Park.
Speedy Williams, as he sprays that ball out wide now, has been so impressive in the middle of the field for Louisville. Has been the metronome in the middle of the field, just knocking that ball back and forth.
Long try this time from Lou City. Well wide of the mark.
Yeah, Opino trying to put his stamp on this game, at driving at the 901 FC back line, and was trying to take that shot from about 23, 25 yards out, but sent it sailing over Scott Levine's bar.
A sub oncoming as well for Lou City. Abdou Jam into the contest in place of Niall McCabe to try and impact John Hackworth's offense. Dan Metzger. Collier back for Paul. Grandison, now Collier. Elliot Collier, ball at his feet, trying to work through two men. Can't find the hole. And the developing counter for Lou City snuffed out. Brandon Allen ruled to be offside.
Yeah, once again, a really strong line held by Sean Tosh and his Louisville City center back mate back there, as Brandon Allen was trying to streak through, and he was clearly offside as Sean Tosh was holding a really strong line for Louisville City.
McMahon as well, also there. Ownby into the middle, threatening Memphis, and this is going to go through. Lou City has the lead. Openo, the finish.
And I was just about to say, Tyler, this was starting to look like Louisville City might come down the field and score, as they've had so much possession in this second half and have had so many shots on goal, and as champions do, they find a way to score. As you saw, Mark Birch wasn't able to clear that ball out of bounds, and you saw the tenacity from Brian Ownby to be able to keep that ball in play, and Antoine Openo was definitely onside, as there were several players that were on the line. You see Ewan Grandison and Wes Sharpie keeping Openo onside, who just tapped that ball into the back of the net. Probably be the easiest goal that he'll score all season.
Tough break for the Memphians, who go down 2-1 to a very strong Lou City side. Will have to try to claw their way back. The pressure just too much. Collier working from the corner. Elliot Collier dragged down, and this will go Memphis's way on the foul.
A lot of contact there between Oscar Jimenez and Elliot Collier, as the larger player, Elliot Collier, was able to bully Jimenez in the corner and was able to get past him, and Jimenez had no choice but to pull him down to the ground.
Antoine Openo scoring the difference-making goal for Lou City.
And you saw what it meant in the celebration between Openo and his teammates, and as well as the coaching staff and players on the bench. They all got up off the bench and were cheering their team on, as that goal could have large implications in the 2019 playoff race.
Tampa Bay and New York Red Bulls 2, both losers this evening. Pounded in, close but no cigar. Oh, tantalizingly near, but just over the bar of Chris Hubbard.
A lot of commotion in that 6-yard box, in Chris Hubbard's 6-yard box, and I know he's breathing a sigh of relief as he saw that ball just trickle over his crossbar. You saw in the replay here, Mark Birch just electing to power drive this ball into the 6-yard box and try to make something happen, and he almost did, as Chris Hubbard swings from his own crossbar, and I know sighs a huge sigh of relief as he saw that ball just barely go over the crossbar.
Lou City trying to push it back forward out of harm's way. Ownby, center for Spencer. And too many Memphians in the way.
There's a good tackle there from Jacob Hauser-Ramsey, as Luke Spencer was almost in on goal.
Levine will send Elliot Collier a little forward. Kept alive by Sharpie. Now Metzger. Hauser-Ramsey trying to lead Collier. Second time in the last 2 minutes that attempt has failed. There appears to be a sub waiting to come on for Memphis. This is Jochen Graf. And this could be the final time the 901 FC supporters see Graf in the park in uniform, set to retire after the 2019 campaign. First Openo. Ownby. And Memphis able to get it away. Lou City relentless. Spencer and Magnuson.
Lou City knocking the ball around really sharply right now. You see 1 and 2 touches all over the midfield, and I think they're hungry for one more goal. They're not quite satisfied or comfortable with the 2-1 lead.
Through Sharpie, and Birch says out of here.
It's a fantastic move there from Abdou Jam as he nutmegged Wes Sharpie, but Mark Birch was there to clean up the mess.
And finally, a flag goes up that'll allow Jochen Graf to come in. This is it for Graf. His last time on a USL field. And the Bluff City Mafia will cheer his arrival, replacing Dan Metzger, who will hustle off to give Graf his time.
Yeah, really good fight from Dan Metzger in the middle of the field, was battling Magnus Rasmussen and Napo Matsoso in that midfield all night long, and unfortunately 2-1 as he comes off, but hopefully Jochen Graf will be able to be the hero as he steps onto the field.
Would love to see Graf make an impact in what will be his last time in a professional kit. Has been great to the Memphis side this year.
Jochen Graf was a really strong addition when he first came over from New York Cosmos, as he's a really hard-working player up top, and of course had the multiple goals against Hartford Athletic in the Open Cup, and saw a run of a couple of really nice games. But you know, as Brandon Allen and Marcus Epson, some of these players were signed for 901 FC, it increased that competition up top for Jochen Graf.
And Graf in a reserve role now, trying to play it memorably, if that's possible, in his last career match. Graf previously with the Tampa Bay Rowdies, Reno 1868, helping Reno clinch a playoff spot last year. 11 goals for Rochester back in 2017. Has played overseas for Germany, or rather I should say in Germany and in Sweden as well. Jimenez. Back post and kick clear by Elliot Collier.
Well done on Elliot Collier there to be able to kick that bar up and over the goal and out of bounds for a Louisville City corner kick, but he was facing his own goal, so a really tricky and difficult clearance that he was able to get right.
Memphis 901 FC has gotten a lot right this year. Trying to get the right result in their home finale in 2019. They need a goal to equalize. Played in and headed away by Mark Birch. Long strike this time for Openo, nowhere close.
Openo was trying the first time finish there off the half volley. He's trying to catch that ball off the bounce, but it had a lot of spin on it and would have been an incredible technique if he was able to keep that ball on target.
Into the 86th minute, Memphis down 2-1 here at AutoZone Park against Lou City. Ownby. Sharpie. Off the pinball, it's Spencer. Grandison.
It's good defending there from Ewan Grandison to be able to stand up Magnus Rasmussen and not let him turn, but unfortunately 901 FC turns the ball back over again.
Da Silva got knocked down like a rag doll. Here's Rasmussen. Chipped on. Levine will be there for it. Fans, we have good news for you. You can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN throughout the 2022 season. The USL is excited to announce that the Championship and League One will both remain on the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, with at least 19 games a year being featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus. 87th minute and a yellow card for Speedy Williams. Sets up Memphis in decent position here. An opportunity for a feel-good strike from the stalwart Mark Birch.
Saw on the replay there, a lot of contact there between Speedy Williams and Pierre Da Silva as Pierre Da Silva went low and Speedy Williams went high, and there's a lot of contact there between Speedy Williams' arm and the back of Pierre Da Silva's head, which earned Speedy Williams the yellow card.
Here goes Mark Birch. Bent to the far post. The header not there for Memphis. Jochen Graf trying the tough volley over the bar.
Yeah, hopefully that was not Jochen Graf's last chance on goal, as he had a prime opportunity, although it would have been a very difficult technique to finish to be able to put that ball on target. But the ball floated up in the air for quite a while, Tyler, before it came down. He received a lot of pressure, too, from the Louisville City defense.
Time winding down as the door closes on Jochen Graf's professional career. Memphis trailing Lou City 2-1 in the waning moments.
I think it should also be said, Tyler, well done, and Tim Mulqueen and his staff for putting Jochen Graf in the game and letting him close out his season and his career on a high.
It's a proper finish. Collier. Da Silva. Hasn't been able to wriggle free all night. Epps will chip it on. Graf. And now a counter for Lou City. Ownby. Onside. Ownby to the middle. Williams there. Graf will hustle after it.
It's well done from Jochen Graf to be able to close out Speedy Williams and gain possession of the ball and start the counterattack for 901 FC.
Epps on the move. From the flank.
Whoa,
splits the defense. Marcus Epps to the middle. Epps, deflected shot. Back to Hauser Ramsey. The Memphians here in the 90th minute with an opportunity. Grandison to the middle. Headed away. Knocked down by Sharpie. Da Silva into the middle. That one poked free. Out through the touchline. Da Silva working urgently.
Saw this move here. Double team on Marcus Epps, and Marcus Epps is able to split the two defenders with a little skirt. Nice little move from Marcus Epps.
Sharpie. From the wide side for Graf. Jochen Graf in the 18. Jochen Graf strikes for goal. Oh, he hit the bar.
Looked like there might have been a foul call before that powerful shot from Jochen Graf as he pulled Oscar Jimenez to the ground. And that was what was able to set him free for that shot on goal. But once again, good work from Jochen Graf inside the 18-yard box. So you see on the replay here, the cross from Wes Sharpie, and Jochen Graf takes the ball down and pulls Oscar Jimenez down in the process and unleashes an incredible shot, but it wouldn't have counted either way.
May as well empty the tank. Not the ending the Memphians will want, but a good showing for a growing team.
Saw Magnus Rasmussen wanted the foul call there from Laurent Varga, but really not a ton of contact between Jacob Hauser Ramsey and he, and Laurent Varga, in my opinion, makes the correct call and elected to play on.
Levine. Collier. Harassed from behind, had it taken away. Maybe 2 more minutes of stoppage time still to play for the Memphians. Grandison in for Hauser Ramsey. Levine has to go from the back. McMahon, no urgency. Maybe a minute remaining in the season for Memphis 901 FC. Sharpie forward. De Silva and Graff up there. Epps. Touchline feed looking for De Silva. Sent clear.
That's definitely one main thing that Jochen Graff will provide and has provided all season for 901 FC is just pure industry and work rate, and he's always willing to pressure the opposing team's goalkeeper.
Birch. Ownby will give chase, as will Levine. It'll go out through the goal line. Levine hustling back to try and kick this one away. Maybe the final buildup. Birch sends it forward. Graff there. Grandison played forward. And the Lou City defense holds. That's all she wrote in 2019. A valiant effort by Memphis 901 FC. They fall 2-1 in the 2019 finale of their inaugural campaign to playoff-bound Louisville City FC. They gave it everything they had. Sharpie, De Silva, Birch, and the rest. We'll take a quick break and return in a moment as Lou City takes down Memphis 901 FC 2-1 at AutoZone Park tonight. Louisville City FC 2, Memphis 901 FC 1 in the 2019 finale for the inaugural Memphis 901 FC campaign. A great moment for the 901 FC supporting crowd, the Bluff City Mafia, supporting their players. And we support the Buff City Soap man of the match. Tonight we name Marcus Epps as the man of the match with the only goal for Memphis.
Yeah, Marcus Epps deservedly so, winning Buff City Soap man of the match honors. As you saw, he had a fantastic goal in the first half and was busy driving at that Louisville City defense time and time again as he was making Louisville City defenders look absolutely silly at certain moments, as it didn't matter if there was double team, triple team, it didn't matter. Marcus Epps continually finding open space for 901 FC.
Epps and Jochen Graff embracing, as it is Graff's sign-off for his professional career. Epps played brilliantly down the stretch for the Memphis 901 FC, a team that not quite able to make the playoffs. They finished with 9 wins in their inaugural campaign. A lot to be proud of, I think, J.J. Greer.
Absolutely, and without Marcus Epps, I don't think 901 FC would have been in the position to be able to fight for playoffs the way the season was heading earlier this year. But, well done to Marcus Epps and the rest of 901 FC for the 2019 season.
The final stats from this match between Memphis 901 FC and Lou City bear out the totals pretty well. 17 shots for Lou City, 7 for the Memphians, and the possession also largely in favor of a playoff-bound Lou City outfit.
Yeah, I think in that second half it was pretty much complete domination for Louisville City as they executed an almost flawless second half, and you see that level of possession and total passes, you know, over 600 passes in a game, Tyler. That's really incredible, and I think they deserve to win this game tonight, and they're really looking strong heading into the 2019 playoffs.
A pleasure working with you this year, JJ, and what a fun team to watch here at AutoZone Park. Didn't know we'd have this 8 months ago, and now we do.
Absolutely. Pleasure working with you as well, Tyler, and I look forward to seeing what 901 FC can bring to the table for the 2020 season.
As we close things out here at AutoZone Park, we thank our director and producer, Mark King, Max McCann, Paul Mullen, Michael Schroeder, JJ Greer, Pete Pranica, Dave Woloshin, Tim Van Horn, and of course, Andrew Bell and Tim Mulqueen for all the fireworks this season at AutoZone Park. In the finale, Louisville City FC takes down Memphis 901 FC 2-1, but so much to build on for Memphis 901 FC. Good night from AutoZone Park for 2019.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.